Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Studio Spotlight 9. We have an awesome featured guest today, Miss Elisha Medlyn. I'm so glad to have you here. And
Thank you.
you were just talking to me a minute ago about some of the super cool stuff you're doing and what you're going to be talking about today. So, what I want to do is I just want to turn the time over to you. The time is now yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, like you said, my name is Elisha Medlyn. I'm a faith-based mentor and public speaker as well as an author. I train business owners, coaches, and leaders to create more sustainable results, revenue, and growth within their business and personal life. I train them on how to find and see and bridge the gaps that are keeping them stuck, unmotivated, distracted, and teach them how to do this through tools, strategies, and processes to quickly and efficiently experience growth, higher production, unity within their business and their personal life. So today I wanted to get on here and just share with you some things, some thoughts, I guess is how I want to say it, on leaders, on leadership. You know, what leaders are and what they look like. A few years ago, I asked myself these questions, and I kind of want to help give you a moment to kind of think about these questions yourself. The first one is, what is a leader? Are you a leader? And who do you look to as a leader in your life? When I asked these questions several years ago, as I began my business journey, my journey into business world, right, as an owner and a mentor, I asked these questions several times. What is a leader? And, you can go to the dictionary, you can look it up, you can find the definition for it, but I wanted to know what a leader was in my heart. And so I went to the good book and I started studying leadership and understanding what a leader is and realizing those attributes. And those attributes look like being 100% accountable. So let me explain a little bit what that looks like. I work with lots of people on this, and I have people, especially in the business world, they're like, I am accountable. And most of them are until they come to themselves, right? The inner stuff, the stuff that's going on inside of here. And they tend to hide from the emotions and from the feelings and from the thoughts and from the fears that they're showing up. And so they lack the accountability to step within themselves and do their own inner work. So being a leader, even though it's not an easy task, it requires being 100% accountable in all parts and pieces of your life. The second one is radical honesty. Now, this is a really big one, because I think that we try to get away with these little white lies and trying to justify our way out of situations, or justify a habit, or justify maybe snoozing on the alarm, right, over and over again because we're tired. We don't want to get out of bed. But when we justify or we give ourselves these little white lies, we're actually in self-betrayal, which then again takes us out of accountability. And we begin to feel yucky inside. We begin to feel like, I don't like the way I feel. And so this is where it's so important to step into this ability to be 100% accountable, radical honesty. And then the next one is called rare faith. I love rare faith. There's a difference between having faith and rare faith. Having faith is knowing that the sun's going to come up every day, knowing that if you switch that light switch, the light's going to turn on, or electricity is going to go through the wires, right? That's having faith. Faith knowing that things are going to keep working out on a regular basis. But rare faith, this is where the magic happens. Rare faith is where it is that you have the ability to know that no matter what happens in your life, it's going to be turned for your highest good. And having rare faith is like, it literally moves the mountains in your life. It takes you out of fear and turns you into faith, which then allows you to build your business in a way that is going to be honoring for you, and it's going to create that sustainable results that everybody's looking for, right? All right. And then the fourth one is daily imperfect action. Now, daily imperfect action, the reason why I put imperfect action is because a lot of us let perfectionism stop us from moving forward in our goals and our dreams and our desires. And so when I work with people, I remind them that it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can make mistakes throughout the day. But if you're making active and mindful action steps towards your goals, you're going to reach them. So I'm going to go over those again with you. So the first one to becoming a leader is being 100% accountable in all parts and pieces of your life. Accountability is so important for a leader. The second one is radical honesty with yourself first and then with others. Then the third one is rare faith. Rare faith is what's going to move the mountains out of your life so that you can create sustainable results and success in all avenues, especially in your business. And then the fourth one is daily imperfect action. Taking action every day that is mindful and stepping away from perfectionism and just doing it every day. Even if it looks like a mess, you still get to move forward in that imperfect action. Now, understand that this is not something that's done overnight, but instead it's a process that requires facing hard things and getting uncomfortable. Then you're able to step into forgiveness. Because when we can face the hard things and when we can be willing to step into uncomfortable, even though it feels yucky, that's when we're more susceptible to stepping into forgiveness. And that also creates that ability to be accountable, being honest, having rare faith, and taking action. So, have you ever wondered why things seem to get more painful in life before they get better? I know I have. I remember one particular time in my life when I was in a lot of emotional pain, and I questioned, like I'm sure some of you have, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Why does it have to be so hard? Why do I have to go through all of this pain? What did I do to deserve this? Well, the lesson that I learned from that experience is that transformation doesn't happen from questioning, why me? But through one event in time that can lead to asking the question, what yet I lack? Now that's a super powerful question. What yet I lack is very different than why me. Because when you step into why me, you step into the victim realm, which keeps you blocked from gaining the knowledge and learning and experience that you're looking for. But when you say what yet I lack, it opens up your heart so that you can receive inspiration and direction from your highest power, which is my Heavenly Father. That can create a lifetime of transformation. And when that transformation is done right, it becomes sustainable and it becomes exciting and fun. Over the last 6 years, I can honestly say that I have had some of the hardest and most awful years of my life. And yet, they have been the years that I treasure the most because I grew and I changed and I transformed in ways that I could have never done without those kind of hard things to go through. I am living proof of how one event ended up being the catalyst for not only my inner transformation, but my external transformation as well. So I don't know if very many of you know me, but when I started on my journey back in 2014, I was in a very different space and I was very depressed. I was very angry with my life. And yeah, I wanted change. I wanted things to be so different than what I was currently experiencing. I was destitute. My children were suffering. It was just not a good situation. And I wish I had a picture to show you side by side, but I used to be over 300 pounds. And it was all emotional. It was so much trauma that showed up in my life that created all of this protection that everything had to be held onto. And when I was able to step into this kind of transformation that I'm talking about, where we do our inner work, we become accountable, we have radical honesty with ourselves, we have rare faith, and we take daily imperfect action, it starts to do something. And oftentimes we get kind of frustrated along our journey because like nobody else can see what's going on with us, right? But yet there's a transformation happening on the inside. So I liken it to a caterpillar. You know, when it goes into its cocoon, it literally comes apart. Like it is a come apart party, right? And then when it emerges from its cocoon, it's kind of sticky, wet. It can't fly away right away. And it just kind of hangs there until it dries off. So that's how I liken inner transformation. We literally have to have a come apart on the inside so that we can step out and become the leader, the divine leader that God wants us to be. But he can't work with us when we are all of a mess, right? We can't fly when we're falling apart. So it's a process. We got to work through that process and get through to the other side. So here's the thing. Most people don't understand when they see me now is that I had to go through a lot of things. There was a lot that was required in order for me to go from depressed, hopeless, destitute. I mean, I had a lot of reasons to just give up. But really, it doesn't matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because it was the catalyst that moved me forward. What does matter is that I went to an event that ignited the spark of hope, of experiencing something better, which started me on a journey of fulfilling my dreams and my desires. And that first step, even though it was the hardest step that I ever took, was what brought me to where I am today. So that's why I do what I do, so that others can experience a lifetime transformation from the inside out that leads to freedom, leads to leadership, leads to being able to receive that divine connection and step into their divine roles as men and women in this world to lead so that God can use them as instruments in bringing people more and more joy. That being said, I am so excited to announce the launch of my Divine Leadership Summit. Now, I've been working on this summit for a few months now, so I'm super excited to bring it to you. I've brought so many amazing speakers, such as Meg Johnson, Amy Walker, Elise Smith, Chip Esley, Justin Morris, Adam Platt, just to name a few. And there's a lot more. There's a total of 16 of us. And I'm bringing them together because I can't think of a better time than right now to gather together with hundreds of like-minded people from across the globe with the purpose of empowering, inspiring, and sparking that glimmer of hope within you, to ignite your desires and your dream, and so that you will pursue your dreams and become the divine leaders that God needs you to be in your own little world. So I invite you to register today for this event and then mark it on your calendar so that when the day comes, you already have it cleared, you already have babysitters, you have everybody you need, right? And the link is down below. So make sure you mark it on your calendar so that you can receive the most incredible life-changing learning that you possibly can in one day, learning from 16 of the most dynamic divine leaders in their field. And like I said, again, it's on March 22nd. It's from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So click on the link so that you can get your free ticket today. And I just want you to know that being a leader, even though it looks scary, even though it's something that you think, oh, I wish I could be like them, or I wish I could do what they're doing, or I would love to be able to move the masses. You know, I used to be there. I was one of those people that would sit back and look at the stage at my mentor and my leader and be like, oh, I want to be like that. Why can't I be like that, right? But when I changed my wording from why me to what yet I lack, that's what was opening up the magic to allow me to learn What needed to be cleaned up on the inside so that I could be ready to become the divine leader that I am today and that I'm continually growing into, and be able to bring to you today this Divine Leadership Summit. It's been a pleasure and an honor to speak with you today, and I hope that you will continue to choose into becoming a divine leader. All right, thanks again.
Thank you. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Like super excited to hear about the Divine Leadership Summit. Like, that's awesome. 16 people, like super duper cool.
Yeah,
And
it's going to be amazing.
I know a handful of them that you named just here, and there's like another 10 people beyond the people you named.
There's going to be some incredible speakers.
Okay, we're going to post that link in the comments. So everybody can click on it and just go straight to that. Check it out. So,
yeah, check it out. And if you have questions, feel free to DM me. I'm glad to answer any questions that you have. Even if you just have questions about being a leader, like what does that look like? I'm glad to assist you in that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome. I encourage everybody to click that link like as soon as we post it, or you guys saw it on the screen, just type it in if the link's not there yet and you'll find it.
Yes.
So, and keep in mind, here on Studio Spotlight 9, we have a point system where you guys win prizes. If you're like there's a weekly winner, there's monthly winners, there's quarterly winners, there's even a big gigantic yearly winner. So every like your video gets 1 point, like we see here on the screen. Every comment, that's 2 points, and 3 points for every share. And remember, this is being broadcast to multiple platforms at the same time. And your points add up over 7 days from when you went.
Awesome.
We saw Kelly speak yesterday. We have Elisha speaking today. They each get 7 days with their points adding up. So I encourage everybody, seriously, on the group page, click on that application form. Then you'll get 15, 20 minutes to talk to me. We just talk very super briefly about, hey, what are you going to do on here? And then we'll schedule you.
Yeah.
And you get
super easy.
Super easy. Exactly. So I know in the future, we've got some awesome more guests coming. I know that on Monday, we have Lacey Platt being featured. I also know in the future, we don't have a 100% date scheduled yet. We're going to have Mr. James Stevenson on here as well. So I encourage everybody, click that link in the comments for the Divine Leadership Summit. And we'll see you next time on Studio Spotlight 9.